Okay, this is it. The Bentayga V8, the new Bentayga. Now we've talked about this car, been showing around it. We hadn't put it on some roads. So we're in Christchurch right now, actually in Littleton. And there's lots of jokes here. In Auckland, you'll hear lots of complaints about congestion. Down in Christchurch, it's usually the state of the roads. That's a bit unfair. We're just at Littleton Harbour. But fair to say, if you're going to see how comfortable a Bentayga can be, this is the place to run it. So I'll go into comfort mode. So 1,000 changes to the new Bentayga. Plenty you can see, a lot you can't. Things you can feel, like the steering wheel, for example. They actually moved the stitching to the inside, so it didn't feel so rough on the hands, for example. The rear track's been widened. So a lot of work underneath. It's got the fantastic 48 volt anti-roll bars. I'll talk about them in a little bit, but let's talk about some visual things. New front end really mirrors the Continental, the new Continental. I love the crystal whiskey tumbler look in the lights. And what's fantastic is even when the lights aren't on, it looks just right. And of course, a new grille, it's more upright, bigger, and it works a lot better. Let's be honest, the first Bentayga did split opinions when it first came out. This one really is dead on. There we go. I think that's a pretty good test, and a test passed for the Bentayga on some bumpy roads. Changes to the rear end too. It's a lot more upright. There's the scallop on the tailgate, and obviously the GB lights are gone, replaced by the afterburner style, seen also on the Continental. But inside, straight away, I'm thinking not Continental, but Spur, because you've got the vents, the air vents that feature on the new Flying Spur, and they don't just look new, with a touch of retro about them too, I must say, but the air that comes out of them is ionized. You even breathe better in this car. Okay, the windy road sign's there. Time to flick to sport. And there's a nice V8 sound there that comes through. But more than that, there is also a true handling prowess. I know that seems sort of strange to say in a car of this size, but there is some magnificent mechanics and electronics working away, and not least the 48 volt anti-roll bars. And effectively what they do in a straight line is nothing, but the moment you get to a corner, they're on. They've actually got more torque than this incredible V8. It means you corner flat, and this car starts to shrink around you. It really does. Speaking of that V8, 545 horsepower, 770 newton meters of torque. Just shows you how grunty those anti-roll bars are. Do 0 to 100 in 4.4 seconds. And if you game the top speed, 290 kilometers an hour. And the tech isn't just limited to those clever roll bars. Inside, new infotainment system, they've squeezed a 10.9 inch screen, and even with the sun really coming down, it's sort of inset, so there's no glare or anything. And as well as that, it comes with the CarPlay, Android Auto, all that stuff. But the fantastic thing is it's wireless. You don't need a wire in the car. Just sit the phone and it charges straight away. I bought the cord with me. I didn't need it. It's worth pointing out too that while I'm cruising along just at 50 k's an hour, only half the engine is actually working. It's got cylinder deactivation. So there are environmental efforts going on here. You know, when you review a car, you want to come up with a definitive way to sum everything up at the end of the test. I'm actually going to steal a line though from that cinematic masterpiece, The Castle. Because when you drive the new Bentayga, you do feel the serenity.